And bring the hands to rest. Shoulders relax. And all of this we can train to do quite instantaneously. Connect to breath. And as you're feeling the mechanics of your breath, the in, the out, the muscles, the relax, I'll feel the experience of your breath. You're using your whole body as an instrument of sensing. And taking a depth approach today. This is only limited by your perception. If your perception is linear, or you kind of image in flat shapes or lines, maybe your breath feels flat or line-like. Feel in a depth way, as best as you can, 3 dimensions or more. Feel with your body, your breath. Locate that depth in your body. Is it toward the surface of your skin or your ribs? Is it in a couple of inches? Is it in a mile? And here it's important not to make things up because they sound better to us, but to accurately report our feeling and our sensing. Is breath a surface occurrence? Is it a depth occurrence? And where? You may even notice there's areas that receive the breath more easily. There's greater depth perception, and other places there's a more surface perception. We'll use rounds of Brahmari to encourage deeper felt listening. Rounds of Brahmari. Begin. Let's continue. We'll go for many more moments. And continue on. If you're tending to listen in and with your head, we will tend to feel the sound in and through our head. If you're tending to listen in and with your throat, your abdomen, you will tend to listen in and through your throat or your abdomen. So how do we open up listening? Right? The question is also, how do we listen deeply with our whole body? Continue. We'll finish this round and we'll do one more. So if breath is necessary for sounding, and if we use sounding to communicate, then all of our communication can involve listening. can involve sensing the body as ideas or words are shared. Okay, so let's slide back, elbow to knee. Between the navel and the pubic bone is where we'll focus the motion and the feeling of exhaling. Bring the feet off the ground, the knees over the hips. We'll interlace the hands behind head. Lift the elbows up to the sky. So already there's that wrap or that spreading across the upper back and even the back of the neck a little bit. Inhale into the low belly, into the low back. Float the head and the shoulder blades up. The head's still resting. The shoulders are still wrapped. Curl tailbone. Without yanking on the head. Exhale, reach out through the left leg, spreading the foot bones, and draw the belly in. Draw from the back of the body, draw through the sides of the abdomen toward that navel, pubic bone area, just waking that all up. Inhale, left knee bend. Shoulder blades are wrapped, tailbone curl. Exhale, right leg out reach. Pull low belly in. Inhale, right knee bend. Let's do 4 more, aside. As you're drawing the belly in and down, discover the depth to which you feel the motion, the depth to which you're sensing your abdomen, your lower abdomen space. So as your belly physically moves toward the center, the middle, the interior of your body, follow that, feel that. There's an inward motion we're making anatomically, and follow that inward motion, feeling, sensing, listening, receiving sense, impression. Often when things move, helps us to feel, but we don't need movement to feel. But it's really, really helpful to move to feel. Movement is multifunctional for us. It's helping us sense, and then on an anatomic, physiologic level, there's a kind of massage and a circulation that's quite beneficial. So involve the movement. Use the movement. Feel. So we're sensing as we move. We're sensing, we're listening as we sound. We're sensing, we're listening as we rest, as we do, as we speak, as we relate, as we practice. By lifting the elbows up, you can sense the low ribs on the ground. Grab a roll. Place it between legs. Reach the legs up. When reaching the legs up, back, sacrum on ground, and then reach or straighten the legs to the best degree that you can, but keeping the sacrum on the ground. So we're not like rocking our butt off the ground to, I'm not sure why, but that's a common setup. Just leave the sacrum on the ground for the moment. We get a sense of, here's the sacrum and the spine. There's a juncture right there. Inhale into that juncture. Use your breath to spread open that juncture. This is the why. This is the why we aim there and do this. You have to use some abdominal redirect. Squeeze the object. Curl tailbone. That low back area just spread a little bit more. Exhale, lift the elbows up. The shoulder blades wrap. Pull low belly down. As you're drawing the belly down, that back area may have just spread a little bit more. You have to focus to feel it, to know it. Inhale, let the head down. Inhale, keep inhaling. Squeeze, curl tailbone. All of this to spread the tissues around that L4, L5, sacral juncture. Exhale, lift the elbows, wrapping the shoulders. Pull low belly in and down, and feel how the abdominal movement in draws on and draws from the low back area. Sustain. Right? Stay with these moments. And then inhale, let the head down, let the tailbone down. But don't let as in leave. Still focused in that juncture where lumbar becomes sacrum. The breath goes there. Abdominally guide it there. Squeeze the object. As you curl the tailbone, feel what happens to that juncture. Exhale, float the head and the shoulder blades up off the ground. Go slowly if you need to. It's to feel. It's not to just do, it's to feel. Pull low belly down. Feel how drawing the abdomen from the front and the sides and inward kind of wraps the tissue of the low back. And inhale, let the head down, the tailbone down. Guiding the breath into the low back, that precise juncture. Feel that juncture every time. That's the why. Why do we do these? That's a big why, that L4, L5S juncture. Squeeze the object. All right, continue just at your pace. Doesn't need to be too much faster though. And we'll do 4 more. You have to be quite precise with your abdomen to feel the breath go to that exact juncture in the spine. You can be that precise. You just have to want to. Like we can know so much and sense and feel so much of our structure. We have to want to. Once you're through with those, you can leave your knees over your hips. Take your fingertips to the back of your skull. And as you find the bottom of your skull near the spine, just slip your fingers under that little, it's almost like a ledge, the occiput. And as you're breathing into your low belly and into your low back, that juncture where L meets S, where lumbar meets sacrum, where spine becomes pelvis. Just let your fingertips kind of smooth, palpate, move. It might be ligament, it might be some neck muscle. Just letting the fingertips find the surface of the skull. And having probed that area, now let's turn over onto a side. Setting up for dolphin. That area that you had just probed becomes kind of a highlight of where to feel for release. Set the forearms out. Where you had just probed underneath the skull. Soften through that structure. Spread the shoulder blades apart. And use your forearms on the mat. Push if you need to push. Pull if you need to pull. Squeeze the elbows if you need to squeeze the elbows. And feel the upper back get broader. Physically, measurably broader. You might feel that like a stretch. And now inhale into that stretched area. Guide the breath there. Meet it there. If we refuse to check, it's a refusal to listen. It's a refusal to sense. Do I know? Do I really know? Curl the toes under. If you can know and really, really know, then exhale, press the knees off the ground. If you're not sure, stay in the setup a breath more, 2 breaths more. Some days I'll stay in that setup and I'll breathe for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. The setup is a wonderful place to feel, to sense. As we do these poses, I offer a lot of leeway and options and choices because, well, I don't always know who's taking this class. But with those options, are we training ourselves to feel in gear 5 and gear 1? If it's simpler, does my listening deepen? If I'm choosing a more complex or challenging pose, does my listening deepen? Take the left foot, we'll raise the leg away from the ground. Left foot, left leg, lift and reach. And by reach, I mean straighten. Use those hamstrings, use those leg muscles. The back of the knee opens, the foot bones spread. Inhaling into left side back. So that juncture where we breathed before, to the left of that. Left of that juncture. Can you feel your breath left of that juncture where we were finding where the lumbar meets the sacrum, where the spine meets the pelvis? And confirming. Do I feel? Does breath show up there? Switching sides. Bring the left down. Bring the right leg up. Feel that place at the back of the skull, softening and opening. And reset the right foot down to the ground. Set the knees down. We'll use 2 blocks and the wall for this squatting twist. When you stand, I'll face you first. 1 block will be between the knees. Maybe I go this or this width. How will you know? You'll look at your thigh bones, you'll feel your pelvis, and you'll know which is the right width. And then one will be pinned against the wall. I'm letting myself crouch. I'm letting the sit bones shift back, knees bend. And then exhaling, the arm that's nearest to the wall crosses over the thigh furthest from the wall. Okay. Now, the blocks are helpful, but they don't tell or do the whole picture for us. Feel how the feet are on the ground. Feel if one foot bears more pressure or weight than the other. And then get both feet interacting with the ground so you're not leaning into or relying on the blocks. The block is helping inform. It's not really doing anything for us. It's not preventing us from falling or hitting our knees together. The blocks now become an instrument for how do my feet enable me to be here, just like this. Okay, now, whether your left elbow is on your thigh or it's your hand that wraps around your thigh, Leave that bottom arm where it is. The top arm, for me it's my right. Reach that top arm overhead, just like a twisting extended warrior. Let that arm extend or reach away from your sit bones. So if your sit bones are pushing back to the horizon behind you, and your arm is reaching toward the horizon ahead of you. And release. Inhale, unwind. We'll pin those blocks on the other side. One for between the knees, and one between the wall and the knee. On exhaling, the arm that's nearest the wall hooks over the leg furthest from the wall. Some of you will get the elbow there. Some of you will grasp the edge of your thigh with your palm. They're all great. This depends on some anatomy and but let the blocks help you plant your feet so that your feet are keeping you here, not the blocks. And now take that top hand, reach that top hand overhead. Just like a twisting extended warrior, except where our stance is different. Weight in both feet. So as you're twisting, as you're reaching, notice if you start to lean in the block, transfer the weight, the pressure back into the feet. Don't rely on the block. The block is helping you learn your feet. It's helping us learn how to stand, how to use our legs, how to feel our knees, how to feel our hips. The blocks are just helping us. They're not doing the pose. And we'll release. Inhale, unwind, stand. Let's come back to our mat or away from the wall. Downward dog. Hands under shoulders, stepping feet back. Beneath the skull, where the skull meets the spine, feel that juncture open or soften. Wrap the shoulders. And warrior one. Inhale the right foot forward. We went on a pretty good hamstring exploration, some of us. So if we went on that together, that back of leg, try to do some of these things really fresh in our cellular memory so that as we link these practices together, they keep building and building and building. We can kind of ride the momentum of our practices instead of always having to claw through the inertia. So using the hamstring, there's an action of the heel and the forefoot. There. Use the arms reaching up. Twisting warrior. Exhaling. Left elbow over right thigh. I noticed if you just did a little like almost like a mental commercial. Did you have to reset the leg? Did you have to reset your focus? Did you have to remember your breathing? Just kind of glide in there. So keep that connection to your left leg. The hamstring, the heel, it's the back of the thigh. I'm going to slide in for twisting extended warrior. So move on exhale. So even if your brain heard the words and knows where to go, concede to breath. Exhale, slide the armpit down. Left hand touches the ground or the block. Left leg still involved. The right arm reaches over. Inhaling, unwind. Set the hands down. Step the right foot back, set the knees down. We're setting up the right forearm. We're working dolphin. We'll be coming up mainly on our right forearm. I'm placing my left hand on the ground for support. Set the left hand a little wider than your shoulder. Now, push with your left hand. Physically push your ribs so your shoulder blade wraps on the right side. Use your left hand to push and help cause the right shoulder blade to wrap. Exhale the knees off the ground. You can leave your left hand there. If it's helping you get a better wrap, keep it. Stay with it. While we teach this right shoulder how to breathe and be on the ribs. And release. Set the knees down. Inhaling, hands under shoulders. Exhale, downward dog. Now feel how that wrap occurs in the right side and the left side. And listen with your ribs, your left ribs and your right ribs, how breath shows up in the lung area, the shoulder area. Warrior one, inhale the left foot forward. Draw the arms up. Think the heel, involve the back of the right leg. Settle immediately into the pose. Because if we practice a lot of the furtive moving and adjusting and commercial and housework, then we practice putting a heap of business in between the pose and the pose. Right? We practice what we practice. Twisting. On exhale, hook the right elbow over the thigh. That right leg stays engaged. Heel reaches into the earth. Glide the shoulders away from the neck. If you can't glide or move the mass of your shoulders down away from the head, you might be plunged. You might have plunged your weight onto your arms. Your arms are, to press, kind of retaining this spaciousness through the joints. And here's that twisting, extended warrior on exhale, your exhale. So listen carefully. Maybe your brain started to move your body. Concede to the breath. Wait for your exhalation. Move the armpit down as you exhale. So it's an exhalation, transition. We're in. Otherwise, we're just practicing, I gotta get my, grunting and trying to find the relief area and remembering our breath again. Our breath confers support. So if we transition with our breath, we're bringing support through our poses. Breath confers a specific support. Happens deep in the body and in the joints and the reflexes. And here too, even the right arm, though it's snug to the leg, maybe snug near the ribs, it's still pressing. There's plenty of space in that right shoulder. It's not just smashed against our ribs. So use that right arm, press, find that space. It's not just like stuck. It's not a trapped arm. It's an action-oriented arm. Release, inhale as you unwind. So conferring that breath support as you undo. Set the hands under the shoulders. And exhale, we'll set the knees down. Set the left forearm down. Place your right hand off to the side. A little wider than your shoulder. Use the right hand to push. What are you pushing? The ribs. Relative to the shoulder blade, push the ribs, cause a wrap in the left shoulder blade. Pushing with the right hand, cause a wrap in the left shoulder blade. Now exhale the knees off the ground. Relax under the back of the skull. Set the knees down. Inhaling, slide hands under shoulders. Wrap the shoulders just prior to putting all your weight on the arms. And then exhale as you press back. The shoulders are wrapped and they receive the pressure, the weight. Wow, feel how those two shoulder blades wrap. And then notice how breath occurs under the shoulders, the shoulder blades, the lungs. Feel the width of the heart, the depth of the heart. Is the perception of depth in this area of the body, has it shifted? Okay. Now, step your feet toward your hands. Stand. We'll just do one more pose. We'll use the wall. Not vertical splits, but downward dog, one leg up. Not downward dog on the wall, one leg up. Downward dog, one leg up on the wall. Just so we're clear, let me show you. So I'll say it all over again. Not vertical splits, not downward dog on the wall, one leg up, but downward dog, one leg up on the wall. I know that sounds a lot of the same. So take your best feeling downward dog, maybe move an inch away from the wall, maybe 2. And if you put your leg up there and it feels a little crowded, move forward another inch. I'm going to move forward 2.5 more inches. I'm not using the wall to wedge me into a deeper, whatever my brain says is deeper pose. I'm using the wall to support me elevating my own leg. So it looks like if you're like, oh, this is making it too easy. Well, cool. Can I listen and feel easy? Right? So let's do that. Downward dog. The feet are near the wall. They're probably within 1 to 3 inches of the wall, 1 to 4 inches of the wall. Choose one leg, raise it. Can it just easily touch, rest on the wall? If the leg is bent, put the leg down, adjust your downward dog forward. Try again. Again, the object, the wall, is not here to force us or conform us into a quote-unquote deeper pose. We're not using the wall to stretch. We're using the wall to assist us in knowing how we're raising our leg, if we're reaching out, if we're collapsing our leg, if we're collapsing our hips, if we're collapsing our low back. And now bring your breath into the low back, just like we did for those abdominals. Can you feel your breath beside the sacrum? Relaxing the skull. When you set that one foot down, feel that can be almost zero movement in the pelvis. Not swinging the hips to get the leg down. We just set the foot down, the pelvis, the spine. It's still there. We're still breathing into the pelvis and the spine. Ready for the other side? When you bring the left leg up, it doesn't buckle the spine. We're not swaying the hips to swing the leg up. The leg just goes. We reach is straightened as best as we can, and it has a little rest spot. It's just a touch. We're not really resting, just making our moment a little easier so we can listen very carefully into the low back, into the sacrum. So with your deep Ujjayi breath into the low back, into the abdomen, into the bottom of the spine. And exhale, use your belly muscles. Exhale, use your belly muscles just like our abdominals. It's not a different recipe, same strategy, same approach. Training ourselves to breathe abdominally, spine. Doesn't mean we're not breathing into the ribs, just making sure we don't leave areas unvisited. Can you feel your low back? Listen with the low back. Listen with the spine. Relaxing the back of the neck. And release the up foot down. We'll set our knees down. We'll set up for Shavasana. So if you want to lie with the legs up the wall, that often can help. People experience the low back relaxing. The muscles can feel more at ease in that position for some folks. It allows the low back bones to kind of spread out a bit. Feel with the left side of your low back, left of your spine. Feel how breath occurs in this pelvic abdominal area, left of your spine. Feel how your breath occurs right of your spine. Feel how your breath occurs through both the left and the right side and under the spine. Now sensing breath in the right side of the ribs, right of the spine. Shoulder blade, collarbone, neck. Now feel how breath occurs in the ribs left of the spine. Shoulder blade, collarbone, neck. Feel how breath occurs in both sides, the whole of the ribs. Do you feel with the most surface features can you feel beneath features? What's the depth to which you're sensing? Often when we have been working with a particular area, we can create habits of surface, habits of depth. So if we've had a muscle or an area of the body that's been in pain for a long time, we can create feeling habits that preclude us from feeling depth. If you notice your mind conforming to what you've addressed as an injury or a concern, ensure you feel the depth of the body. And when you're ready, bend knees. Turn to a side and press up. Namaste.